Hello and assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Kashif Kamran and today I am meeting all of you for a very important agenda. The AAA exams are just a month away and this is a very crucial time for all the AAA students because exactly from this point onwards your exams are 30 days away. Now what should be the right study approach for all of you from this point onwards is very critical. And if by now you have not devised the right study approach, you are creating a risk of a failure. You should devise a right study approach within the next 24 hours to sit down with that right study approach to ensure you are successful in your upcoming exam paper. So, the purpose of this session is just to ensure that I can give you the right study approach which you can implement and ensure you are successful. So, let's move on and discuss the right study approach for the AAA paper with exams 1 month away. Now, the very important thing when your exams are just a month away is to ensure that you are sitting down to study with the right exam resources. Now, whether you are a self study student or you are taking classes from somewhere or you are repeating the AAA paper, I'm talking about irrespective of all categories of student. I'm just discussing a very generalized approach which can fit all of you. So let's start to discuss the approach which is the right exam resources at this point in time when exams are just a month away. And I just conducted a sort of research to identify and to fine tune the best right resources we can have in place for the next 30 days. And let's see what is the result of that. Now, the very first thing which is to be part of the right resources is the examining team article. I believe I've been very vocal and I've been reinforcing this at every forum I had an opportunity to speak to students that you cannot deny the importance of examining team articles because I find them the best way to prepare for exams because examining team article gives you the right exam approach and probably you come closer to examiner mindset. If you're not reading the examining team article and you are preferring a book over the examining team article, you're not establishing the examiner mindset very well. So if you want to establish the examiner mindset very well and you want to understand the examiner mindset very well, reading the examining team article is extremely important. Now, few of those articles are very important. I just recently did a video on my YouTube channel. You can catch on it, and the title of the video was the examining examiner articles or technical articles. In that particular video, I did share which articles are important and which articles you should be reading. So if you go to my YouTube channel, just in the last 1 week, I've conducted a video on the importance of reading articles, and I suggested student which articles are important and you should be reading. But particularly in the syllabus area D, two articles have been added by the examiner, which are exam technique articles. And those are articles which guides you about how to write a good answer for business risk and how to write a good answer for audit risk and risk of material misstatement. Now, if you're missing on those articles and you enter the March exams, probably you are writing a wrong answer to audit risk or risk of material misstatement, or you're writing the answer which the marker would not like. So if you want to meet the expectation of the marker, you want to understand what the marker is looking for in your audit risk answer or in your risk of material misstatement answer or in your business risk answer, it is very, very important that you read the two articles, the exam technique articles under the syllabus area D, where the examining team is guiding you how to write a good answer for risk. And they have given you examples. They've given you the way you can score more marks on a risk answer. And that is a fundamental part of the AAA paper. In the first question, you need to answer a risk question. So you should know how to write it. You should know the marking scheme. You should know what you can do best to gain more marks on a risk answer. So please ensure you're investing your time on reading the exam technique articles, the two exam technique articles under the syllabus area D, which is critical for your success in the upcoming exams. And which other articles you should be reading, I've already covered a video on that on my YouTube channel recently. You can just catch on that importance of reading articles in AAA paper, and you will get to know which articles you can omit and which articles are must to read. So the first thing is examining team articles and the investment of time. The second is the right exam practice. Now, again, just recently, I did a video on my YouTube channel where I did emphasized on the definition of the right exam practice. So you can go down to my YouTube channel again, and just in the last 1 week, you will find a video, a very latest video on right exam practice for AAA paper. What is the definition of right when you're preparing for exams in March 2023? Now, the definition of right, if I can just sum up that, is to go on to the practice platform. And on the practice platform, there are 6 recent papers under the practice exams from 2022, from 2021, and from 2020. So the ideal definition is to do papers from 2022, 2021, and 2020, the one available on the practice platform, because they're giving you the right exam rigor for the March 2023 exams. If you're wasting time doing the 2014 paper, 15 paper, 16 paper, 17 paper, you're wasting your time. You're not preparing yourself effectively for the upcoming exams. So do the practice exams, which are available on the practice platforms, the recent ones from 2022, 2021, and 2020. I think the last available exam on the practice platform is 2020. And then there are specimen exams given to you. In the specimen exams, I think there are 3 specimen exams available for exams from September 22 onwards. You can do those specimen exams because they are applicable from exams in September 22 onwards. So I think that would give you the right practice of like 9 recent papers, 9 good papers. You're preparing yourself for the upcoming exams. The mock exam would come in, and I think tentatively ACCA will publish the mock exam for March 23 on the practice platform by around the 15th of Feb. So you can plan to do the mock exam uh, after it has been published. So that would be the 10th paper. So currently, there are 9 good papers on the practice platform. I've given the definition of those 9 good papers in my video, which I covered on the YouTube channel recently with the title of Right Exam Practice. Please do watch that. You can see the YouTube channel link in the ticker below, youtube.com/Kashif Kamran. So you can go onto that YouTube channel and you can just watch the 2 recent videos I've done on examining team article and the right exam practice for the March 2023 exams. Now, more importantly, the review of the examiner reports. I would suggest all of you that you should read the 2 latest examiner report, one from the September 22 exam and one from the December 22 exam. And you should read those 2 examiner reports primarily to understand the criticism of the examiner, primarily to understand why students are failing in the AAA paper. Because the passing rate of the AAA paper is a challenge. It is a big challenge. And you will get stuck in the AAA paper if you don't know or you are not investing your time in reading the examiner reports seriously, because examiner reports is telling you the good and the bad, the good students and the bad student. Examiner report is telling you how to gain the professional marks. September 22 examiner report is such an important examiner report because that was the first exam sitting with 20 professional marks in the AAA paper. How would you gain the 20 professional marks? What is the mindset of the examiner to give you the 20 professional marks? What is the examiner looking for in your answer to reward you the 20 professional marks? Have you ever thought about that? Because I believe if you are taking 0 out of 20, you're failing the AAA paper. You're failing the AAA paper if you're scoring 0 out of 20 professional marks. You should take into control confidence the 20 professional marks, you should have the best definition of what 20 professional marks are. And from where will you get it? From directly from the examiner reports. I'm just requesting all of you to read two examiner reports, September 22 and December 22. That is it. And try to identify the criticism of the examiner. Try to identify where are you going wrong. There might be something in the criticism of the examiner which can relate with you. And if something relates with you, you have an opportunity to overcome it. Your exams are still 1 month away. So please ensure you read the criticism and relate that criticism with your answers you're writing. And if you find some criticism which relates with you, you have converted your failure to success. And you have an opportunity for that. You still have a 1 month period. Rather than you do the same criticism of the examiner on the day of exam and you didn't read the examiner report, you will regret yourself. So to me, the most crucial investment you will do in the last 30 days is the review of the examiner reports, and two of them is more critical. So please ensure you do that. The next thing is, do read examiner answers for recent two exam settings, September 22 and December 22, to be fully aware of the marking schemes. I'm not saying read the examiner answers, which the way the student do. Student love to read examiner answers. I am not saying read the examiner answer for the length of the answer, how beautifully the examiner writes an answer, how lengthy the examiner writes an answer. I'm saying you to read the examiner answer for the marking scheme. At the end of the answer, you do find the marking schemes on the last 2 pages, on the last 3 pages of the examiner answer. You do find the marking scheme given from September 22 exams and December 22. Please ensure you are aware of the marking scheme. You are aware of the recent changes in marking scheme. You are aware of how many marks will you get for writing a business risk or an audit risk. How many marks will you get for determining and commenting on the materiality. How many marks will you get for a procedure, for an action, etc. So be aware of the marking scheme, because that would make your life easier in AAA paper. At least you will be writing as per the number of marks. So if you know there is a 10 marks requirement and that the marking scheme of this requirement is 2 marks, you will only be writing 5 valid points. You're not wasting time writing more points. So be aware of the marking scheme. That is very, very crucial. So 4 things on your screen currently: examining team articles, where I have specifically emphasized to watch my video on examining team article I've done on my YouTube channel. And I've specifically emphasized on reading 2 exam technique articles under the syllabus area D. For right exam practice, again, I mentioned to watch my video on the YouTube channel and did emphasize on doing the recent papers more, because you're preparing for March 2023 exams. I did mention to review 2 examiner reports from September 22 and December 22, and I did recommend you to read the examiner answers for September 22 and December 22 only for the marking scheme. So these are 4 right resources currently in front of your team, in front of your screen. Now, the next category of the right resources, the fifth, do the mock exam. ACCA will publish the mock exam for March 23 by around the mid of Feb on the practice platform. Do it. I will be conducting a debrief of that mock for my registered students, for my paid students. I will be conducting a debrief for the students who have registered with me for my webinars, March 23 webinar. And if you have purchased my March 23 webinar, in the bundle of that, you will get the mock debrief for March. And in the bundle of that, you also get the exclusive December 22 webinar as well. And I would prefer, if you have resources and you can do investment, it's not a big investment. I hope you can afford that investment of buying the March 23 webinars, because that will help you gain access to the December 22 webinar, which was paid. And it will also give you access to the mock debrief as well, which can give you the right exam confidence. So if you're attempting a mock, you can watch my debrief. And if you watch my debrief, you will have an idea of where you went right and where you went wrong. So if any one of you wants to enroll in my March 23 webinar. You can watch for my WhatsApp number on the screen right now, and you can message me for details of the webinar, and I can share the details with you and you can register. So currently, you can gain access to my exclusive December 22 webinar and the mock debrief I did for December 22 webinar. And then you can gain access to my March 23 webinar, which I will be conducting shortly, and the mock debrief once the mock exam is available by ACCA. So please prefer to do the mock exam around the 1st of March. The closer you do the mock exam before your exam is better. So if your exam is on 5th, do it on 1st, so you get the chance to watch the debrief and overcome the weaknesses. So keep the mock exam for the 1st of March. Now, few last things before I take on your questions. Be aware of the changes. Since September 22 exams, there are some changes in the paper which you should be aware of. 20 professional marks coming into the paper. Now 80 technical marks and 20 professional marks. How to gain the 20 professional marks. I've already done videos on 20 professional marks on my YouTube channel. If you are my registered student, you are part of my courses, you should have a better idea of the 20 professional marks as well. But if you are a self-study student, you can still grab the resources I have for 20 professional marks on my YouTube channel. Beside the 20 professional marks coming into the paper since September 22 exam, what else have changed in? Number one, international standards on quality management 1 and 2. They are now part of your syllabus. International standards on quality control have been deleted. International standards on quality management have come in. Examiner will be using the terminology quality management in the exam, rather quality control. And you should be aware of what quality management is. If you have an old knowledge of quality control, that is irrelevant, because quality managements are the new standards which the examining team has addressed since September 22. And examining team has written two articles on quality management, part 1 and part 2, under the syllabus area C, where you have the technical articles available for AAA. And I've already conducted one free video on quality management 1, which is on my YouTube channel. But the second video is only for my paid students who are taking my regular courses. ISA 220 has been revised for quality management. So you should know the revised ISA 220 and the requirement of the revised ISA 220, because we know quality management is a regular syllabus area for the triple exams, and examiners do test quality management, ethical issues, and professional issues a lot in the AAA paper. But you should know what is a change quality management means to you, and are you aware of the change the quality management has brought to the subject matter. Before, it used to be quality control, right? Now it's quality management. There is a slight change, but you should be aware of it. And I've already covered some sessions, free sessions on YouTube channel, but majority of the sessions are for my paid students. But you can just catch on the free sessions just to gain some confidence and at least read the articles written by the examiner on the subject matter. Thirdly, the materiality statement given by the partner in the email in the question number 1. If you have done the recent paper, September 22, December 22, or if you have done the specimen exams on the practice platform applicable from September 22 exam onwards, you must have seen the partner email and the partner telling in the email that I want the materiality to be determined on a certain factor. And that is a change. The partner telling you that the materiality has to be based on like profit. Now, if the partner is saying the materiality is to be based on profit, how would you go about calculating that? What is the mechanism of that? I've already covered that in my September 22 webinar for the free students, for the students who do self-study. But for my registered students, it's already been addressed on my portal. But irrespective, you should have knowledge of that new materiality statement coming in. Are you aware of it? Are you not aware of it? That's a big question. September 22 webinar on my YouTube channel. I've already covered a short video on the YouTube channel with the title materiality statement by the partner and how to go about calculating it and the marking schemes. Significant audit risk, we know the terminologies have changed. Examiner now expects students to address the significant audit risk. What is the definition? How to prioritize a significant audit risk? How to prioritize a significant business risk? You should have an idea of that, whether you are a self-study student or you are a registered student with any tutor, whether me or anyone. Current issues. You should have an idea of the current issues. The current issue, which is on my YouTube channel, which is still a current issue for the March 23 exams as well. That is the climatical changes and the responsibility of the auditor. What are responsibilities of the auditor with the climatical changes happening around the globe, the global warming becoming a big agenda item globally? So I've covered a video on the climatical changes and the responsibility of the auditor for my registered students and for the self-study students on my YouTube channel. Please ensure you catch on that video on current issues. So you need to ask a question to yourself: how well you're prepared on current issue, how well you know the significant audit risk and a significant business risk. Do you know how to categorize, how to prioritize the significant risk? Are you aware of the new materiality statement in the partner email and how many marks will you fetch for it? Are you aware of the quality management standards being upgraded and there is no more quality control in the paper? It's quality management in the paper. Are you aware of the 20 professional marks? Ask a question to yourself and see what you need to do in the next 30 days. So these are the right resources you should be having in place for your March 23 exams. Uh, the purpose is just to refresh you that even if you don't know these things, you still have 30 days to address them. There are useful videos on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/Kashif Kamran. And these are the links of the useful videos. There is a AAA webinar digital library in which I have my previous 8 webinars. I would recommend you to at least watch the September 22 webinar if you are a self-study student. And if you have enrolled for my webinars, do watch the December 22 and the March 23 webinar as well. Professional mark videos are available on my YouTube channel. Right exam tips are available on my YouTube channel. International Standard on Quality Management Part 1 is freely available on my YouTube channel. The Part 2 is for my registered students. There is a change in syllabus area F as well, other assignments. You know, there are other assignments like due diligence and prospective financial information or audit of performance information, uh, forensic audit. But there is an another other assignment added from September 22 exam known as assurance on social, environmental, and sustainability information. And I've covered that as a full topic on my YouTube channel, so you can benefit from that. And you can at least read the article around assurance on social, environmental, and sustainability information, because that is a new assignment which is added to the syllabus area F. And I believe there is a high likelihood of an exam question on the same topic in the March 23 exams: assurance on social, environmental, and sustainability information. So you should have a good idea of this. So currently, there are 5 other assignments: due diligence, forensic, prospective financial information, audit of performance information, and assurance on social, environmental, and sustainability information. And then there is a video on current issue on my YouTube channel as well. You can register for the March 23 webinar. My WhatsApp number is coming down the screen, and you can see the number now on the screen as well, where you can message me if you want to register for the webinar. The best part is you will not just get the March webinar, you will also get the December webinar in the same cost, and you will get access to the mock debrief. And you can send me your mock paper for a quick review as well. So this is how you can prepare yourself for the upcoming March 2023 exams. Sitting down with the right resources is something extremely important. Now, just to take your quick questions, if you have any for the right exam resources for the AAA paper, just let me see if we have some questions. Okay, there is a first comment coming in from Shahid Mahmood. Great teacher, no substitute. Many thanks for that, Shahid Mahmood. There is another question from Azu. Thanks, sir. So no question. These are just comments. There is another question coming from Reza Sultan Mohammadi. It's always good to see you, sir. Your class really helped me in my studies. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much, Reza Sultan. So if you have any questions pertaining to how you should be preparing for the upcoming March 23 exams, you have an opportunity to raise it now, and I will be answering it in the next 10 minutes of the session remaining. So any questions, please go ahead and put your question in the chat box. Okay, the first question coming from Robert. Please give us a list of the most important technical articles to read. Robert, I've just done a video on that on my YouTube channel just 3 days ago. The title of the video was Importance of Reading Articles in AAA Paper. So please, if you can watch that, it's just a 6 minutes video and would give the answer to the most important articles you should be reading ahead of the March 23 exams. I hope you're clear with that, Robert. Any other question pertaining to the right study approach for the AAA exams? You need to understand that these 30 days are crucial for all of you, right? Because in these 30 days, every single day counts towards your success. If you are sitting down with a wrong strategy, you're sitting down and you are studying the AAA paper, but you don't have the right approach in front of you, you will still fail. Having the right approach, having the right strategy is the first thing to pass. A lot of time you're studying, but you don't have the right direction. You don't have the right resources, or you're just lost somewhere in terms of the resources, or you have too much resources on your table when you're studying. All can be very dangerous, very risky in terms of your upcoming exam. So please ensure that you are devising the right strategy for the upcoming exams, which is very, very critical. So any other question from any one of you? I would like to answer that because this session was meant for all of you in terms of asking questions pertaining to the March 23 exams. Anything which is in your mind, which needs clarity. So I'm there to answer it. Please ensure you carefully jot down the right study approach, which I have given you today in terms of the recent practice, the examiner reports, the recent updates from September 22 exams, recent articles, the changes which have come into the AAA paper, and you are all aware of things before you sit down and you devise a strategy for your upcoming exams and you start to move on uh, to study. Practice holds the key, right? Practice holds the key, and that's where you need to emphasize a lot more in the next 30 days, because that's critical in terms of the AAA paper. So practice holds the key to success, and the recent papers, the better. Please don't do the old papers 14, 15, 16, 17. Try to invest in 2020, 2021, and 2022. Okay, I believe we have another question from Muhammad Mahfujur Rahman. Hello, sir. What are easy marks to gain in exams within the first 2 hours? Uh, Mohammed Mafujur, see, basically, there are lots of easy marks like calculating and commenting on the materiality in the question number one, which now have three technical marks. If you know how to go about it, there are three technical marks around the materiality statement, the new changes from September 22 exams. In terms of the communication marks, putting the right briefing note, structuring the briefing note in the right manner, putting the briefing note in the logical order A, B, C, D, uh, writing a conclusion in a briefing note, ensuring whatever the partner is telling you, you are following the instruction of the partner. If the partner is saying not to do something, you're not doing that. That will help you gain 4 professional marks around communication in the first question. So that's 4 communication skill marks, 3 technical marks for materiality, writing the proper calculation and conclusion on the materiality will fetch you 3 marks. So these are 7 bonus marks. Apart from that, I think the easier marks in the AAA paper is the more you sync your answer to the case, because there are no knowledge-based marks in the AAA paper. So probably the question looks a bit more difficult uh, if we had knowledge marks in the AAA paper, but there are no knowledge marks. So easy marks is not the temperament of the AAA paper. But yes, the more you link your answer to the case study, you will be in a better position to fetch more of the marks in the AAA paper. It's a case blending paper, right? The more you blend the case in your answer, the more you synchronize the answer with the case study. That is the best approach to pass the AAA paper. I hope I have addressed your question, Mahfujur. But if you want to rephrase your question, you want to ask something else, you're more than welcome to go ahead with it. Okay, so Please ensure you keep following me on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/kkdlp, where you can get all the updates pertaining to the March 23 exams, because I will be very active in the next 2 weeks for sure, putting the right approach for the March 23 exams. And a lot of posts will come on my Facebook pages in the next 2 weeks, so you can catch on them for sure. And my YouTube channel gives you all the important videos and directions you need for your March 23 exams. So please ensure you follow the right approach from there as well. Okay, so another question. The question coming from Neha. Sir, would you suggest us to do only the 10 papers which you mentioned in the previous webinar, or do we need to solve any other questions? No, just the recent ones, Neha. I think I just mentioned in my recent video, right practice. Just 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I put a video, and that is 10 total papers, which includes papers from 2020, 2021, and 2022, which includes the three specimen exams applicable for September 22, plus one mock exam. So that's the list of 10, Neha. So just the 10, just the 10. Not more than that. So that 10 in the next 30 days is the best way you're preparing yourself for the upcoming exams, Neha. And I wish you success. Okay, so any further questions? Good to see questions coming from Neha, Muhammad, Mafujur, Robert, and comments coming from Azu, Riza Sultan Muhammad, and Shahid Mahmood. Okay, any further questions pertaining to the right study approach for March exams? We still have another 2 minutes. If you would like to interact, put a question which needs to be addressed in. Okay, so if there are no further questions, let's wrap up the session. And I just like to wish you all uh, the very best of luck. Okay, there is a question coming in. Amrit, how much effect does the typing speed has on passing the paper? Honestly, no, because I believe by the time you get into the exam hall, or in the last 1 month now, your typing speed comes to that point where typing speed should not become an issue in terms of passing and failing, because if whatever speed you're maintaining now, it will gradually improve every single day from now onwards, Amrit. And by the time you reach the exam hall, and in the exam hall, the typing speed becomes a bit more better because you are under the real pressure. So currently, your typing speed is without the real pressure. In the exam, it will be with real pressure. So automatically, it would be that better to make you successful. So passing, the typing speed shouldn't be a factor in your passing and failing, Amrit. And I wish you success for your upcoming exams. Okay, then that is it. Let me wind up the sessions. The webinars are open for registrations if you want to enroll for that, all of you. And I wish you all success in your upcoming AAA exams. The purpose was just to address the right study approach and to ensure you devise a good study strategy for your upcoming exams. So, wish you all success. Kashif Kamran from KKTL signing off from this Facebook live session. Take care. Goodbye and Allah Hafiz, all of you.